What's going on, guys? In this video we're gonna go and take a little bit more in-depth look in one of my favorite champions in the game. This is Moon Knight. We have him here, rank 4, level 40 of 40, and he's also awakened, so we'll be able to have quite a good idea what he can do. And why I decided to do this champion is I feel that they haven't really done the best they can do uh, to explain everything in his description. It's a little bit it's not he's a complicated champion pretty much. He's got these moon phases that change his abilities, and also his awaken ability changes quite a bit, like every 6 hours. So he's one of those champions that you need to understand, and I don't think that they have done the best they can do to make us understand the champion better, at least in his description. I have found some information as well that is not mentioned anywhere in his description. So I will do my best to help you guys understand the champion a little bit better. But the first thing we will do is we will take a look at his health and his attack. So basically he's got pretty much 12,000 health and also 950 attack. So let's compare him to the champion before him and after him to see where he lies. So before him we have Wolverine, which of course Moon Knight has much better both attack and health than Wolverine. Like I think every champion in the game has better attack and health than Wolverine. But after him was that we've got a 440 Yellow Jacket, but it's not awakened. And pretty much Moon Knight has a little bit better health, but Yellow Jacket has a little bit better attack. But pretty much the same, guys. Let's take a look. So Moon Knight is currently our 4-star awakened champion with lowest attack, I mean, against the 440s. So he's down there just with Wolverine, guys. So his PI is not very impressive, but again, this kind of depends also on his masteries and stuff like that. I mean, not his masteries, my masteries. So yeah, let's go again in the info and take a quick look. It's not going to be very quick, guys, but let's take a look at his abilities, and we're going to go ahead and read every single one of them, and then after that I'm going to try to explain a little bit better. So the passive abilities, basically what it says is that his he gains different abilities during different moon phases. This is what it says over here. And then we've got after that they kind of try to explain what's going on. But yeah, so let's start reading. So all attacks, as moon waxes, it boosts critical rate by 50% for 3.5 seconds, and the chance for that is 62%. Also, the chance increases nearer to the full moon phase. So that's cool, like increasing the critical chance, the critical rate, which is one of the most useful things in the game, like critical rate. Then after that, we've got as the moon wanes, he gains 21% fury for 4 seconds, and the chance for that is only 8%. And again, guys, this is 440 awakened Moon Knight, so it's not gonna go much higher than this 8%, I believe. And this chance also increases nearer to the new moon phase, which full moon and new moon, if you're wondering, are the two other phases that Moon Knight has, but I'm gonna explain that a little bit later. So critical hits. Critical hits has 62% chance to inflict bleed damage for 50% of your attack over 35, not 35 of course, but 3.5 seconds. Which is good. 62% chance is quite high. I can imagine, like, if we rank him up to rank 5, it's gonna go probably around 80%, so that's not too bad. And then under the light of the full moon, critical hits have 15% chance to stun for 3 seconds. Okay, 15% chance is not the best, like even if he goes up to 20, but it's still good stun, guys. I like from what I've noticed, his stun, like I feel they changed it a little bit lately. Before it was much more often, at least from what I have seen. Like I didn't have him awakened, but I felt like he was stunning every like 3-4 hits. He had a stun. Basically, I was going in those stun loops when each of my combos was stunning the opponent. It was pretty much like if you go to a stun loop with Scarlet Witch. So it was quite amazing. Now I get a stun every like 3 to 4 combos, which is definitely not like before. I don't know if it's just me or they changed a little bit something there, but it's not, for me, it's not as good as he was. And then we have when attacked in the darkness of a new moon, he has a 5% chance to evade attack. So yeah, 5% chance is not the greatest. He's down there with Ultron and what was that? Black Widow. Not as good as Spider-Man and what was Nightcrawler. They're definitely much more effective if you are looking for evade. So this is what they have explained about the champion, guys. And I think like how they failed to make us understand this champion. First, they mention all the 4 moon phases that he's got, but they don't mention the order they go. Like they go in a specific order every time. Kind of they basically cycle in this order, and they failed to explain that. And they also like I was doing my research for the champion, and I found stuff that they don't even noted. Sorry. So let me try to explain that a little bit better. So again, as I said, Moon Knight has these 4 moon phases that he goes through, and they've got this specific order. So the first one is the waning crescent. Then he's got like following that is the new moon, and after the new moon you get the waxing crescent. Sorry, I got it a little bit wrong there. So we've got the waning crescent, we've got the new moon, we've got the waxing crescent, and then at the end is the full moon. I believe I switched the places of the new moon and the full moon. So yeah, you've got these four phases exactly in this specific order. So let me try to explain briefly what each one of them does. So yeah, we've got the waning crescent. I'm gonna try to find it here. Yeah. So we've got the waning crescent. So what it does, basically, he's got a better chance to gain fury. This is pretty much what the phase does. And as they mentioned here, when the champion is later in this phase, like when you're approaching the second phase, which is the new moon, the chances for fury increases. So basically, if you're in the waning crescent phase, the first several days of the phase, you get less fury, and then towards the end, towards the last 2-3 days, you start to see much better fury gain. So this is what they say about this phase. Again, fury is kind of good. It's useful. I wouldn't complain about that, but like 21% chance also is not the best, but still good percentage, good chance, and fury is good. So this is I think this is one of his good phases. And then the next phase, the phase after that, is the new moon. So what it does in the new moon, basically, he gains increased chance to evade attacks. So this is mentioned over here, just at the end. In the darkness of the new moon, evade attack, he has 5% chance to evade attack. So again, 5%, we discussed that, it's not the greatest. But what they failed to note anywhere here in this description is that also in the new moon phase, he also has his highest base attack. So basically what this means, his base attack here we can see is 942. When you're in the second phase, the new moon phase, this is gonna go higher. So his base attack is at the highest during this second phase. So I was kind of like curious why they never mentioned this in the description, but also they have got this mentioned on the Kabam's website and of the character overview. So it's there, it's existing, at least they say, but they never mention it in his in-game description, which is kind of curious for me. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the third phase, which is the waxing crescent. So basically what it does, it increases his chance to boost his critical rate. This is what they say about that. And just like the first phase, towards the end of the waxing crescent, he's got better chance to boost the critical rate than what he has in the beginning. Again, during like in the first days, he will increase his critical rate, but not as much as towards the end of the phase. Which is also kind of curious. I don't know why they decided to go with this kind of system, like separating it a little bit. I don't know. Probably they've got their reasons, but it's also like another variable added to the champion. Like you've got moon phases, you've got so many variables, and they add even more after that. But anyway, guys, this is pretty much the third phase. Nothing else added to that. Basically, increased critical rate, which is cool. Like critical rate again, one of the good abilities in the game. And we're left with the last phase here, which is the full moon. And everybody, like, I've never seen person saying that this is not his best phase. Basically, under the phase of full moon, guys, um, there's a chance that critical hits inflict stun. Basically, this is just mentioned briefly over here. Um, where was it? Yeah, so you have a 15% chance to stun the opponent for 3 seconds. This again can go a little bit higher, but it's pretty much not much higher than that. So yeah, you've got a 15% chance to inflict stun. Also, there is additional chance to inflict bleed damage, and like the chance is highest in this phase. So again, he inflicts damage like not on, he inflicts bleed not only in this phase, I believe, but the chance to inflict bleed is highest in this phase. Let me just double check that. It was mentioned somewhere here. So yeah, critical hits have 62% chance to inflict bleed damage for 50% of his attack for 3.5 seconds. So this is critical hits in all of the phases. It's not only in this phase, but in the full moon phase, the last phase, this chance is not going to be 62%, but it's going to be a little bit higher. This is what they say. And also, he has a higher chance to uh, inflict critical hits or do critical hits. So this is like, I think there's no doubt that this is his best phase. Basically, he stuns the opponent, um, he bleeds the opponent more often, and he gets critical hits more often, which is one of the best abilities in the game, over like right here in one phase altogether. Which is a good thing to have. I usually, this is the phase, of course, which I always use Moon Knight. Especially, I put him in like a Lance War. I can put him either on defense or attack. Doesn't matter. He does great job like with this bleed and the stun. I try to have him in attack though, because I think being able to play with him, you're able to like use his abilities at its best. Um, but yeah, let me mention also, like, so yeah, this is pretty much his abilities explained. I hope I was able to do it a little bit better. Let's also take a quick look at his signature ability, which is Synodic Tide, if I can pronounce it correctly. So basically, this means either you gain increased power gain, or the opponent gains reduced power gain. Basically, this is what it does. And I've got it awakened here to level 20, which is just one level. But what I have noticed is basically, when you do a combo, when you hit your opponent, he gains power gain much faster than you. his power meter is feeling faster than you because you hit him, and this is how it works in the game. So what I have noticed is 22.4% chance. It's pretty much like it doesn't matter if his power gain is reduced or yours is um, like better, but pretty much you reach the special attacks at the same time. So if you get increased power gain, you reach the first was that the first special or any special faster, but again you're gonna reach it pretty much the same time as your opponent, so he doesn't get the chance to do a special before you like it usually happens. And if his power gain is reduced, again it's gonna be you're gonna reach it again in the same time, but it's gonna be a little bit slower because instead of increasing you're reducing. But anyway, yeah, pretty much the good thing about this ability is that you can do special attack pretty much the same time as your opponent, which is a good thing to do. So yeah, and I guess as you dupe him more, you will be able to reach the special attacks even faster than your opponents, which is actually really good. So this is his signature ability. I think it's like it is one of the good abilities, especially if you have him duped several times. Like right now, it's not that noticeable. I mean, you can still notice it, but if you like reach level 99 here, you will probably be able to do like two special attacks before your opponent reaches even one. So that's kind of amazing, I think. But yeah, let's go ahead and discuss some of his strengths and his weaknesses, and how you can use him, like how you can use his pros and cons for your advantage again. So what I have noticed, like when I was researching again, this is one thing that they never mentioned in the description, but apparently it's existing. So during the new moon phase, Moon Knight doesn't do any critical hits. So basically, he does not do any critical damage, critical hits, critical rate. This doesn't matter during the new moon phase. Instead, he's relying only on his fury to boost his attack. So basically, he was the only champion for a long time in the game to be able to do that. And again, this is very helpful if you go against somebody like Scarlet Witch, when every time you do critical hit, or of course if she does critical hit to you, she's got this percentage, this chance to kind of do a random effect on you and her as well. So not doing critical hits against Scarlet Witch is a big advantage because she's not gonna do random shit like poison. She does lots of poison, power drain. So in this phase, in the new moon phase, Scarlet Witch is kind of you're nullifying one of her best abilities. Again, this is if she's awakened. So yeah, this is never okay. Sorry guys, I left my phone to go to sleep, and the recording stops. But anyway, again, this is nowhere to be mentioned in the in-game description, so you need to go and do your own research if you want to know this, which is kind of I don't think is the best approach from Kabam. Like everything that's useful for the champion, they need to list it, I believe. But yeah, for a long time Moon Knight was the only champion that was able to do that. Right now we've got what's that, Crossbones? Yeah, Crossbones has pretty much the same ability. Basically he's like always he's always in the new moon phase, if you want to look at that this way. But yeah, if you don't have Crossbones, like this 1 week of the month, you can use Moon Knight to go against Scarlet Witch and be very effective doing that. What else was there? So in some of the, like in the waning phase and the waxing phase, he's a little bit more useful against bleed immune champions, because like again he cannot do his bleeds, of course, but he's got like much higher special damage and precision and critical hits. So in these two phases, he's like champions like Colossus or Juggernaut or Unstoppable Colossus, champions with lots of health, high armor, and bleed immune. He's a good match for them in these kind of situations. Of course, his skills, so it's not the best idea to go against Colossus with him. But yeah, um, and what's there? Yeah, this is pretty much what's the great thing about the champion, guys. So you can use some of the phases against different champions. Each phase, I think, it has its uses in the game. Each phase has the champions that you can go against while you're in this phase. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So also there is like having all these different abilities in the different phases. Basically, all the important masteries that are in the game are gonna help you. So precision and cruelty are gonna help you. Extended fury is also gonna help you, especially if you're in the new moon phase where while he's only relying on his fury. And then because of his stun, you can find good use of stupefy, petrify, pacify, basically every mastery that inflicts that kind of changes your stun. So yeah, all the important masteries in the game are kind of good for him. He's benefiting them, which is a good thing. And the last thing we're gonna do in this video, guys, is we're gonna take a quick look at his synergy bonuses. So what's there? He's got 6% armor with Spider-Man, which is armor is not the synergy that I like using most. We can see here he's got 7% critical rate, which is probably the best synergy, but it is with Iron Patriot, which is one of the worst champions. So kind of good synergy, but I don't use it because it's with Iron Patriot, and I don't like using Iron Patriot really. What's next? We've got our champions gain 5% perfect block chance with Daredevil, the classic one, or the original, or whatever you want to call him. Again, perfect block is good, but ever since they removed the perfect block teams, I don't think that many people use this synergy anymore. And then with the two Deadpools, both the original and the X-Force, he's gaining 25% critical damage. And this is how I use him. I use him in in the arenas with Deadpool X-Force because I have no one else to combine both those champions. So I just put them together. So at least I have some synergy going on there. But yeah, again, I haven't seen a good synergy team with him, just because these champions are so different, and it's hard to make a synergy team which has a lot of synergies in between them, um, because they're so different champions over here in these bonuses. So yeah, I think this is pretty much all I can tell you guys about this champion. I hope because of this video you're a little bit you're able to understand a little bit better the champion. Again, these phases are still a little bit confusing, but at least we know what they do now. We found out some stuff that are not even listed in his description. So yeah, guys, I hope you this video was of any help for you. If so, please give me press that like button underneath the video. Drop a comment. Tell me if I have missed anything about this champion. Probably there are so many things. There are so many variables. I wouldn't be surprised if I missed something. Although I did quite big research before I went into this video, guys. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. Let me also know if you like this champion, if you have this champion. I think he's one of the cool champions in the game, and I really like the way he looks. And when they released it, I really liked that stick that he's carrying. So he's kind of unique champion. I don't think there is any other champion that has so many variables and so many things change constantly. His moon phases, his signature ability, like it's also kind of cycles every 6 hours. So you have to be kind of quite good in understanding this champion, so you know every time you go in the fight what you're gonna get exactly. But yeah, guys, hope you find this video helpful, and that's gonna be it for now. And see you next time.